Here we go with left guards, man. It's nice to kind of bring the offensive line to light here. Um, yeah, left guards, man. There are some talented left guards out here. We're first going to start with Cordell Volson from the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, yeah, I mean, that's a young dude, can definitely improve. Offensive line, they're really trying to kind of get better to not even just protect Joe Burrow, but get that running game going with now newly acquired Zach Moss. So yeah, they're definitely striving to be better. Cordell Wilson's a good guard, man. 25 years old, 2 years in the league, 2 years, $2.08 million in the contract, 17 games played, 1,087 snaps, 3 penalties, 5 sacks allowed. Not the prettiest thing in the world with the sacks, especially as a guard. But I mean, he's gonna get better. He's a young dude. Definitely relevant. Definitely needs to be noticed as an honorable mention. Ben Powers, long time been in the Ravens. Definitely a guy that was pretty reliable at the guard position, especially when the Ravens offense was getting a little bit in unfamiliar territory of being not great, and losing him was a huge loss for this Ravens team. Ben Powers is now a Bronco, and I mean he's been killing it out there. Ben Powers is 27 years old, 5 years in the league, 3 years, $36.5 million. He played 17 games, 1,068 snaps, 3 penalties, and 4 sacks allowed. So overall, I mean, great football for him, and definitely deserving of being relevant here. Zion Johnson. I like Zion Johnson a lot. I think he's definitely with Rashawn Slater looking nice to improve a Chargers offensive line. Young guy that can definitely get in the trenches. Great puller. Yeah, I mean a guy that's definitely stood his ground against the best of the best, including Chris Jones. So overall, this is a great left guard. I think he's going to be great for a long time, and he will be a top 10 guard in this league. Honestly, Zion Johnson is only 24 years old, 2 years in the league. 2 years, $4.75 million in the contract. He has 15 games played, 1,006 snaps, 6 penalties, 4 sacks allowed. He's only going to get better. He's still young, still developing, but great guard, and he will be very valuable, especially to the Chargers team that's trying to get better. Elgton Jenkins, yeah, the Packer that's been there his whole career. I mean, the fact that he's been super reliable as a tackle, as a guard, it just shows the athleticism that he has, how big he is, but also how athletic he is, and just overall, yeah, has been extremely impactful to this team and the league. He definitely needs to be recognized. Elgton Jenkins, 28 years old, 5 years in the league, 3 years, $42.5 million in the contract, 15 games played, 903 snaps, 4 penalties, 0 sacks. So barely gets anything up. 4 penalties in a whole year. It's pretty decent. Overall, though, yeah, I mean, you got to give it up to this guy. He is elite. He really is. At the Bear left guard, Teven Jenkins. Definitely one of the bright spots for the Chicago Bear line, who again is trying to rebuild into a playoff, possibly Super Bowl contending team. They're running in the right direction, definitely. They're going through the right directions, especially with the tackles that they drafted the past couple of years. Tevin Jenkins, a guy that they brought in, definitely has made his impact. Definitely a pretty big contributor to this offensive line. You look at Tevin Jenkins, 26 years old, 3 years in the league. He's got 1 year, $1.8 million in the deal. Played 12 games, 751 snaps, 4 penalties, 3 sacks allowed. Overall, though, a very physical guard. Um, great at picking up double teams, and just pretty good guard that people need to look at. Avila, honorable mention. A guy that was a rookie and already made his presence known. as a guard. But I mean, honestly, they have signed some great players out here to play that guard position. Um, and the signing of Jonah Jackson, I mean, I think solidifies him as possibly getting that guy into the center position. I'm not in the front office. I'm not a coaching staff. I'm just seeing it, and I'm like, well, I mean, he's physical. He's fast enough. Got athleticism. I think he's got some leadership in him. I really do believe he can probably transition to center and be just okay, just because of the size and everything. I think he's just made for it. So I think Avila, I mean, he's tremendous young player. That's definitely going to be a top 10 guy. We'll see if he even stays at the guard position. He goes to the center. We'll see how that goes. But you look at Steve Avila, 24 years old, 1 year in the league, 3 years, $4.77 million. 17 games played, 1,147 snaps, two penalties, two sacks allowed. For a rookie year, it's pretty great. It's nice to see this man, out here dominating. And yeah, I mean, he is very underrated. Definitely should be on this countdown. So then we got Damian Lewis, honorable mention, Seattle Seahawk, now a Carolina Panther. Definitely pretty reliable guard. Definitely athletic. Great when he's able to try to get some open spaces for some running backs to gain a few yards. And I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see if Seattle is going to miss him. I do believe they will, just because of the productivity that he had. And I mean, he played there for since he got drafted, so he's gotten better every single year, and he needs to be recognized as such. 27 years old, 4 years in the league, 4 years, $53 million he signed with the Carolina Panthers. That's a pretty big boost, especially with trying to build up Bryce Young's career. 16 games played, 926 snaps, four penalties, three sacks allowed. Overall, I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to help Carolina's offensive line, and he definitely should be recognized for this list. Ten, we got Tyler Smith, man. Yeah, very deserving of being on this list. He's a all-pro guard. He's a guy that is very young and continues to prove just how great he can be, and definitely can climb up the ranks of this list, especially with the season next year. Dallas is one of those teams, they just draft great offensive linemen. They just know what they're scouting for, and Tyler Smith is a guy that they just scouted right. So him being, a part of this Cowboy team, I mean, uh, they're gonna do they're gonna do a lot of the shotgun. They're gonna do a lot of kind of trying to get Dak to scramble out a little bit, make dump some passes out there. They're going to run the football inside sometimes, so I think he's got the ability of blocking for Dak, also being athletic to go and make great you know, holes for the running back, for the ability to have a lane to be open in terms of trying to get some yardage there in a drive. So Tyler Smith's pretty athletic, man. 23 years old, man. 2 years in the league, 2 years, $4.45 million in the deal. He's got 14 games that he played, 942 snaps, 13 penalties, only one sack allowed. Earned him a second team All Pro and a Pro Bowl. Yeah, just a gifted left guard. Definitely needs to be recognized as such, and he's added on this list. Last on this list right now for this part, Dalton Risner or Risner. I'm not saying if I'm saying it right. I think it's Risner at number 9. Minnesota team that Loki has a great offensive line. Definitely going to improve from last year. Definitely can see them. With Justin Jefferson being healthy, I think I could see them winning some few couple games there and being competitive in the North, especially with that division being so competitive. Yeah, Dalton Risner is going to be one of those big contributors to this offensive line success. Look at Dalton Risner, 28 years old, 3 years in the league, 1 year, $2.41 million in the contract. Played 15 games, 745 snaps, three penalties, and allowed no sacks. Yeah, overall, athletic, big body, great at going downfield and making the extra block for running backs or receivers. Definitely physical guard, and yeah, just really, really talented.